was 1861, and tensions that had been simmering for decades finally boiled over into what would become the bloodiest conflict in American history. It all began with a fundamental divide. The North, increasingly industrialized, urban, and opposed to slavery, stood in stark contrast to the South's agricultural economy built on the backs of enslaved people. When Abraham Lincoln was elected president in 1860, Southern states saw the writing on the wall and began to break away. On April 12, 1861, the first shots rang out at Fort Sumter in South Carolina. Confederate forces opened fire on the Union garrison, and just like that, the Civil War began. What many thought would be a quick conflict turned into 4 years of brutal warfare. The early years favored the Confederacy, with brilliant generals like Robert E. Lee leading Southern forces to victory after victory. But the tide began to turn at Gettysburg in 1863. For 3 sweltering July days, nearly 200,000 soldiers clashed in the Pennsylvania countryside. When the smoke cleared, over 50,000 were dead or wounded, and the South's hopes of invading the North were shattered. Meanwhile, Lincoln made a bold move that changed everything. The Emancipation Proclamation transformed the war's purpose from preserving the Union to ending slavery itself. African American soldiers joined the Union Army by the thousands, fighting bravely for their freedom and their country's future. The war became a grinding campaign of attrition. General Ulysses S. Grant's relentless pursuit of Lee's army, Sherman's devastating march to the sea through Georgia, and the Union's naval blockade slowly strangled the Confederate cause. By 1865, Richmond, the Confederate capital, had fallen. Lee's army was exhausted and surrounded. On April 9th, in a small courthouse at Appomattox, Lee surrendered to Grant, effectively ending the Civil War. Just days later, Lincoln was assassinated at Ford's Theater, leaving a wounded nation to heal without his leadership. The numbers tell a staggering story. Over 620,000 soldiers dead, countless wounded, and a country forever changed. Slavery was abolished, but the struggle for true equality would continue for generations. The Civil War reshaped America's understanding of freedom, democracy, and the price we're willing to pay for both. Today, its battlefields stand as silent witnesses to American courage and sacrifice, reminding us that our nation's greatest threat wasn't a foreign power, but our own divided house. The lessons of the Civil War echo through time, teaching us that the costs of division are too high, and that our strength lies in our ability to overcome our differences and stand united.